Thanks to Jersey's Sports Zone, and Volpe makes almost the identical play.
At home, they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers.
Remember that young man, Big Al?
The Minnesota Lynx select Diamond Miller.
Video courtesy of Jersey Sports Zone.
It's an incredible goal, so that's a nice one. It's deserved of number one.
You got my food.
Number 2, New Jersey high school football.
Here on Jersey Sports Zone.
We're back to talk more New Jersey high school sports. This is Beyond the Score, Episode 8, brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Rich Krampanis, always joined by Jay Cook. I get more and more excited for these Mondays because the weeks are piling up upon us. And boy, we had another great week just across the board. That Friday of football was absolutely stellar.
It was a great Friday. We had that kind of earmarked out, all the right games to be at, where we needed to have our guys at. And boy, it was a fun weekend for sure.
And coming up a little bit later in the show, great booking by you. Got an All-American.
He's the man.
Coming on, a future Ohio State Buckeye. You know, when Ryan Day comes to New Jersey, all he does is hit bullseyes.
He bats 1,000.
And so the Buckeye fans are going to be so pumped up when Jordan Thomas, sometimes it takes a year, a red shirt, because look, they're loaded.
Yeah.
But, you know, the Jersey kids are making an impact on the number one team in America, and this guy's the next one. We talk with Jordan Thomas coming up as well. We'll be right back to get into football world. That's when we continue here on the Beyond the Score podcast.
It's one thing to win one award, but it's another 46 things to win 46 awards. New Jersey's most comprehensive academic healthcare system. Learn more at rwjbh.org/US News.
All right, week 7 of high school football, Jay. I remember back in my days when I was a TV sportscaster in South Carolina, you'd get to this time of the year, and sometimes we would, you know, you'd get these teams that are really good, and we were like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got, hey, this team's undefeated, they're rolling, we show up there. And for us, it seemed like we had a bunch of unbeaten teams that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
And the Grim Reaper showed up. We had a number of really good football teams get their first taste of defeat. So, we looked at the menu.
I know.
Your game, RBC's first loss. I was at DePaul St. Peter's first loss. And then we had Tyler Miraz. Hey, we got to go see Sayreville. How about Montgomery?
All right, that was a shocker. Yeah.
That's what I love about what we do is when we've always kind of got our finger on the pulse and we're looking at a lot of different things. And then you say, hey, you know, this could be a really good game. And boy, we'll start off with that one. But tip of the cap to Montgomery, that's a statement right there.
Statement win. Look, Sayreville came in at 8-0, and there was really a kind of a big conversation. Who is the best public school team in the Big Central? I think it's kind of been decided that St. Joe's Metuchen is the top team in the Big Central, but how does everybody kind of stack up behind them? Look, Sayreville 8-0, was having an incredible year. Sean Jackson, 1,400 some odd yards, almost 20 rushing touchdowns, just having a monster season. But Montgomery comes in and just upsets the apple cart. Sayreville had 15 points in the first half. They were held to 15 points all game. Montgomery rattled off, I think it was 27 straight in the second half to go up and get a big win. So credit to the Cougars. They go out the week before, lose to Woodbridge, a tough loss. Woodbridge is a good team. But Montgomery, they go on the road. Bomber Country is a tough place to play, especially when they're playing good football. So credit to Montgomery picking up a massive win.
Now, there's going to be times where you and I will have a freezing cold take, and we'll bring it up, and we'll make fun of ourselves, right? Because we don't know everything. But our scouting report on RBC Paramus Catholic was spot on, because if you just look and say, oh, it's 7-0 RBC against 2-5 Paramus Catholic.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time on the pod last week saying, hang on. This is going to be, so we're not sitting here shocked and stunned that 2-5 Paramus Catholic beat 7-0 RBC. What we saw was Paramus Catholic, really brutal, tough schedule, and at this time of the year, it's going to pay off. For Red Bank Catholic, 2 young freshmen who did some good things. You know, that's Ramiro Rivera's. Jay saw that that pick six, that was kind of his first big mistake as a high school football
Sure.
player. That's a part of the process, and you got to bounce back from that. He's only got 2 picks this year, so
Hey.
you saw one of them.
Yeah.
But look, RBC's going to regroup and see what's going on, and Paramus Catholic's going to say, hey, forget about our record. We're going to be in the hunt to get to MetLife Stadium and the non-public B-State championship game.
Yeah, look, PC is a talented team. I mean, there's guys up and down that roster that are picking up a lot of college recruiting interest, a lot of offers. They're a young team, a very young team. Some veterans there too. Some guys, Mason LaFond had a big game on the offensive defensive lines. AJ Lopez, a sophomore, big rangy kid. He went out, had that pick six on Ramir Rivera. PC does it with their backup quarterback. So look, I mean, they're a talented team. There's something there for Paramus Catholic. They just got to start stacking wins. And look, they play Don Bosco this week, so it's going to be an uphill battle certainly against the Ironman for PC. It's always interesting when Sabella goes and coaches against his old team. I mean, anything could happen. So I'm not going to discount PC right now. I'm going to give them a shot. They can, if everything goes right, they can win a big game. But Red Bank Catholic, I mean, this is, the stacking order of things in non-public B now. Paramus Catholic is likely going to be the 2 seed when the committee meets in a couple weeks. Is RBC 3 or 4? That's going to be the tough discussion. It's going to be between them, St. Thomas Aquinas, Holy Spirit. How does that all play out? I do have to say, though, Gabe Kemp, incredible player, and I don't want to just blow smoke and do all that stuff and inflate a kid when, as a freshman. But I got flashes of watching Nolan James.
Okay.
That's
I watched, lofty.
It is. But
I agree with you.
I watched Nolan James all 4 years of high school football. I saw all 4 years of Nolan. I saw him as a freshman, and watching Gabe Kemp, I literally had flashbacks to Nolan's freshman year. And I was like, wow, this is the same player. It's the same player. And
I think we're going to see RBC Paramus Catholic Part 2.
Yes.
Up there in Wayne, and the winner goes to MetLife. That's what I think is going to happen. And look, RBC's got to learn from it.
Yeah,
they're going to play. Look, they're going to play Marlboro and Notre Dame, so they're going to get right, and then the tournament's going to start. And like you said, the seeding will be debated a little bit, but I think it's going to be 3 against 2, and
I agree.
We'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, it's going to be a big spot for Red Bank Catholic as they try to stack a couple wins here. And then the other one, if you're an undefeated team, look, St. Peter's, we talked about how talented this St. Peter's team is. But when you score on offense, defense, and special teams, it's kind of hard to lose, isn't it?
Look, DePaul Catholic, we talk so much about Derek Zammit, and we should talk a lot about Derek Zammit. He's unbelievable.
Fantastic.
And if you pull the stats of the game, maybe statistically it was maybe not the greatest game of Derek Zammit's career. However, the footwork, the leadership, all those things. He got banged up a little bit. I got scared. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And he's a tough customer. I'm sure he's getting treatment right now, and he'll be good to go for the playoffs. But like you said, we saw the defense make a play. We saw A.J. Larkin on a kickoff return. And in the middle of all this, a defense that has a number of guys. And the guy that I want to talk about, what I enjoy doing is, I don't get to see DePaul as much as Jay does. Mm-hmm. So I like to go in there and I kind of purposely don't look at the roster, and I don't kind of do a lot of homework as who's got offers and this, that. I walked in there, I knew about Zammit, and I knew Marlon Bright, Penn State commit. I watched him for 5 seconds. I was like, okay, that's 40 offers.
Yeah. Yes.
And so those two guys are, at the top of the food chain. So then I'm watching all these different guys, and I'm watching A.J. Larkin doing things. The guy that got to me was this Logan Montaigne.
Mm-hmm.
He got after it.
Yeah, he needs more offers.
He's got motor, and that's what I did. I looked, he said, hey, I'm proud to announce my first D1 offer from Stonehill. And I was like, wow, this kid just got his first offer. And look, a lot of guys in the college football world, they're operating kind of in the underbelly, and there'll be people that watch this podcast, and I'll give you a free tip, guys. If you're one of these smart coaches, check out some Logan Montaigne film.
Yes. Well-deserved shout out.
You know, he really gets after it. And there's other guys on that team, but that was my walk. I was like, wow, this Logan Montaigne kid, he really, you know, it's kind of easy to catch your eye if you're in those skill positions. But when you're a defensive guy and you're just kind of looking and say, hey, there's a big play. Oh, there's 41. Oh, there he is again. There he is again. So shout out to Logan Montaigne. Caught my eye. And, you know, when we get to that point where we're picking our all-zone team, now you got two people who are going to be like, yeah, Logan Montaigne's got to be on there.
Logan Montaigne, for sure. And, I mean, look, everybody on that DePaul defense played well. Logan Nagel had a big game.
Pitt commit,
big 32. I mean, freaking towers over everybody on that defense. And Jackson Bastante as well had the scoop and score. So
yeah, they got big frames.
Yeah,
and then
Bastante certainly is tall and lanky and just a great player.
Yeah, and when they get into that college strength and conditioning program, and then they come back, and it just goes to another level. My goodness.
Yeah. And look, some of the other big headlines, too. We go down to South Jersey, Washington Township, and Kingsway in certainly one of the best South Jersey games of the entire season. The Minutemen down late, under 2 minutes to go, and these guys just go out and pull out an incredible win.
That was the best game in the state.
It probably was. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, probably
Kingsway goes up 12 late in the third, and then Washington Township gets a short touchdown run. It's like, okay, got a one-score game heading into the fourth quarter. Kingsway comes right out and scores again. So there's 6.5 minutes left. Kingsway is up 12. This is when I like to go to that ESPN calculator.
Yeah.
You could type it in and say, hey, you're down 12 with 6.5 minutes. What's your percentage chance of winning?
Yeah.
And it's like 99.3.
It's probably pretty low for Washington Township.
And Washington Township figured out a way. The Jair Moore play was our number one play of the week on the top 10. If you check out the top 10, that was the right call. And the other part about it for us, selfishly, the great Mike Frankel doing those highlights.
The man.
He's a
GOAT.
South Jersey legend, and when we have him do a game like that, it's just like grab your popcorn. He does such a phenomenal job. Every highlight looks good. It's a great ride. So that was a part for me too. I was like, oh wow, Mike did that game.
Yeah,
and it was maybe the South Jersey game of the year. So that was so cool.
It was awesome. And look, you have to have the conversation of Washington Township being in the conversation of, are they a top 2-3 public school in the entire state?
It's in South Jersey, it's Winslow. It's Washington Township.
Yes. And then in North Jersey,
Old Tappan, Northern Highlands, which we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Ramapo, right? So,
Ramapo.
yeah, Washington Township in Group 5, they're going to be a tough team to handle in the playoffs when we get going here. So,
and then the other game that you could argue, your North Jersey blood say, maybe this is the best game in the state.
Hey, look,
Hanover Park beating West Essex.
That was a crazy game, a back and forth game. Look, Hanover Park, 8-0, the Hornets. I mean, they just continue to show why they are one of the better public schools up in that Super Football Conference in Morris County. Look, Morris County this year has got some good football with Mount Olive, West Morris. Now you add Hanover Park into the mix as another undefeated team. Defense, we talk about it, wins championships. And when you're able to make a big turnover when the game is on the line, big. I mean, Jake Long had over 40 carries. The West Essex quarterback had over 40 carries in that game. Poor kid, man. He's probably got two ice bats after. I mean, he was probably hurting. But Hanover Park backs up against the wall. Jake Long going in to score the go-ahead touchdown. And Hanover Park knocks the ball out in the end zone. It's bouncing. Does it look like it's going to be a touchback? Is West Essex going to fall on it? Is Hanover Park going to pick it up? The Hornets pick it up, and they secure a 29-28 win. So, I mean, that place looked like it was insanely packed. I didn't think the crowd was going to be that crazy. Our guy Nick Dahl was at that game, and he had some kind of rabid Jersey Sports Zone fans in the stands hooting and hollering at him.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool from the...
Look, if you start a Jersey Sports Zone chant, there's like a 98% chance we're going to put you on social media. Just a heads up.
Just a heads up. Yeah, at least the camera's definitely going to get turned around to you. So that was really cool. And then the other 8-0 team who... Look, certainly, I don't think many people, maybe even inside Hudson County, had this team going to be 8-0, potentially 9-0 this season.
Hoboken.
The Hoboken Red Wings. Yeah, they go out, pick up a very impressive win over Newark Collegiate. Look, you have to have the conversation. Hoboken plays Pascack Hills this week. Pascack Hills is a sub-500 team, so you're looking at the Red Wings potentially going to be 9-0 when this regular season winds down. So a couple years ago, they were winless.
0-8.
Right.
And that's what I think is so charming and beautiful about high school football is that we try to act like we know everything that's going on, but in August, when we're running around, was anybody talking about Hoboken? Was anybody talking about Hanover Park? No.
Right.
And when you put the hard work in, now 2 years ago, if we went back in a time machine and went to the sideline and said, hey, guys, the sophomores and freshmen on the team,
right,
don't worry, it's going to turn around, and you guys are going to go from the bottom of the barrel to now you win, you lock in a home playoff game. I mean, it can turn around that quick. And Joe Borkowski, the head coach there, I mean, big shout out to him.
Yes.
He comes in, and you want to talk about the value of a good coach who installs a culture and a program. They went from 0-8 to 8-0 in 2 quick seasons.
Yeah.
And it's a credit to those kids. It's real easy to go into the weight room at Bergen Catholic and Don Bosco when you know that you're right there the whole time.
Sure.
The kids, you know, even right now, some of these teams that have no wins, you see them out there. You know, I drove to Long Branch the other day for a short conference soccer tournament. Long Branch hasn't winless this year. Kids are out there in the practice, they're working hard.
You gotta grind, man.
That's so admirable. So we bring up Hoboken because it's important to know, like, it can turn around for you. And what a great job. I hope everybody in Hoboken, look, there's a lot of great restaurants down there.
Yeah.
They should be, I hope Joe Borkowski's getting some free meals because he is, he's got people in Hoboken. There's a lot of things going on in Hoboken. They're talking Red Wing football.
Yeah, which is, look, few and far between the amount of times that's been talked about in Hoboken in the last, 10, 12 years. I mean, there's been some good years there, but look, 9-0, they got some athletes. They got some guys that can, when the football gets in their hands, it's pretty impressive. So we absolutely have to give Hoboken a big shout out. Going for 9-0 this week. That's pretty cool.
And now we are at the last week of the regular season for the public schools. We got 2 weeks until the non-public start. But Jay, let's take a quick break.
Yes.
Let's get ready, because we just digested an incredible week of football, and now, it's time for us to look at PowerPoints and all this stuff and who's going where. But we're going to talk about, I think, the biggest game in North Jersey when it comes to public schools. One of the great rivalries. We're going to talk Northern Highlands against Ramapo when Beyond the Score returns right after this.
It's really nice to be in a situation, in a place where there are very good people who take good care of people.
Orthopedics it's not about saving lives, it's about saving quality of life.
A lot of people, we live high-stress lives, so if you tell someone they can't do something for whatever reason, that's pretty traumatic.
I really take pride in trying to be empathetic and trying to put myself in every patient's shoes.
I want to take care of people like I'd want to take care of my family, and I think that when you do that and give somebody that family feeling and give them your honest opinion for what you would do, they value that.
Dream big, they say. We say dream bigger. Over 3 million square feet of bigger, so you can plunge deeper, play in the snow longer, wonder greater, pose with your friends sillier, shop with your family happier, make every meal tastier, and float higher than ever. Whatever your dream is, come live it big time at American Dream.
Week 8, the final week of the regular season for public schools, groups 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come Saturday night, we'll see where all the PowerPoints shake up.
A lot of moving
and then the tournament begins for the state playoffs. So a lot of things are, settled, figured out, but then, those who's going to try and work their way into the playoffs, who's going to slide down, who's going to get a home game, who's going to go on the road. But we got one more great kind of scoop of regular season play.
Oh, boy.
If there's a crazy meter for a game,
yeah.
Every year, Northern Highlands Ramapo, we always joke around like, hey, you shoot a game and it's like, oh, yeah, not much happened. 28-10. It's a 3-minute game. Like every year, Northern Highlands Ramapo is like we could rent a movie theater and show it the next day at the cinemas at the winning town.
1,000%. I mean, that is one where it's just lunacy at the game. Getting into the game is lunacy. Finding a parking spot is lunacy. Going to get a water from the snack stand, lunacy. I mean, it's like. And then on top of that, you got all the crazy kids and the crazy fans there. I mean, that's one where you've got the fence hangers at, right? Like everybody's like, if you didn't get a seat in the stands, there's like you're like 3 or 4 rows deep back along the fence. People just hanging out.
I love Northern Highlands too.
It's a great atmosphere.
They got that beautiful field house.
Yes.
And
brand new too. Recently, I mean,
brand
it's
new,
gorgeous.
I mean, yeah, it looks. It's got like an elite private school kind of facility.
Yeah.
The scoreboard is like big, huge scoreboard.
Video scoreboard, the whole deal.
I love going to Northern Highlands.
And look, it's setting up to be one of these seismic level games again, right? We talk about it every year. The last 5 times these teams have played, been 1-score games. I mean, that's just how close they are, right? Now,
triple overtime last year?
You just took the words right out of my mouth. Triple overtime. And I was at the NGIC final last year, so I did not get to experience that triple overtime game, but we had a freelancer there who was able to help us out with the highlights for that game. But, I mean, you talk about, triple overtime game is just
I put that game together.
You did, yes.
It was like a jigsaw puzzle because normally when you have someone that isn't doing it week to week, I was just getting these drips and drabs, and it was like putting together a complicated puzzle, a wonderful puzzle. I felt really satisfied when it came together. But triple overtime,
triple OT. This year it's 6-1 Highlands, 6-1 Ramapo. Only 2 losses each team has are to Old Tapan. So who is very good in the state by this time. Old Tapan certainly in that conversation. But right now, I mean, look, Ramapo and Old Tapan just sizing up for a massive showdown, a massive game. You have seen you have seen Northern Highlands this year. You've seen them play tough defense. You've seen them, really move the ball up and down the field. I have seen Ramapo a couple of times. I just saw them recently against Wayne Valley. This is going to be another incredible game between these two teams.
Yeah, the 2 running back system at Highlands. I love Calarco.
Yeah,
they've got that ability to just kind of grind out. They like to put together drives.
Yeah, very good
at Northern Highlands. So I think it's going to be an amazing game. There's another Grusser in the mix again, which we're excited about, Casey, and it's going to be. It's going to be must see. It's really going to be must see, and it's the perfect way to kind of wrap up the regular season, and then it's kind of a precursor. Like, you want to know what playoff football is going to be like? This.
Oh my God.
It's like the perfect way to get ready for the playoffs. And then next week you'll kind of take, they'll both be high seeds, they'll have home games, and they're probably gonna have an easier time. But this is, you want to know what playing football in November is like, check out Northern Highlands Ramapo.
Yeah, get up to that game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm sure you have to pre-buy your tickets. I don't think there's gonna be tickets for sale there. I mean, that's the kind of game it is. The other big game this week, if that doesn't, get your appetite all ready and ready to go, the NJIC final. This is the only conference in New Jersey that plays a championship game. It's small school football at its finest. This is one of the most fun leagues in the entire state. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. You said the NJIC is like the MAC of New Jersey high school football. I don't know who the top 2 teams in the MAC are right now, but the top 2 teams in the NJIC are Rutherford and Butler. Butler is last year's champion. They played a fantastic game against Glen Rock last year. Rutherford was a 3-time champion, 3-time consecutive champion before Butler. So these are 2 teams that have championship level experience in this game. They know what it takes to win this game. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I think that the NJIC should give you some kind of award because you were the one who kind of brought it to me and you said, hey, just like you said, there's only one conference championship game in the entire state.
That's it.
Because the first year you did it was like 3 or 4 years back. You're like, I'm going to go to the NJIC championship game. And I said, wait a minute.
What are you doing?
We got Bergen, we got Joe's, we got Peters. He said, no, this is the only championship game in the state. And it's a, this kind of, fun league.
It's a great atmosphere.
And you really brought that to the forefront. And every year we've shot the NJIC championship game, and rightfully so.
Yes.
And it's so cool. So I'm glad we're getting it again. We're keeping that tradition going. But yeah, it's going to be fun. If we were the commissioners of New Jersey high school football, I'd say let's make this week conference championship week.
Oh, boy,
let's have
that
a
would be
shore
fun.
final. We'll figure out the breakdowns or whatever. But it would be incredible if this was all conference championship weeks, because I just think it's cool, and I think
awesome.
It gets everybody amped up and ready for the postseason. And if you lose that championship game, you can turn right around and get right in the playoffs. But alas, we only have one, and the good news is we'll be there.
It's gonna be an awesome game. Couple guys to watch if you're not familiar with these teams. You've got David Smith, the quarterback over at Butler. He's having an incredible year. I saw him play really well last year in that game at their home turf. The Butler's got that blue turf.
Love the blue turf.
Yeah, so unfortunately, the game is at Rutherford. If you wanted to see some blue turf, you're going to have to go catch them in the first round of the playoffs, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be having a home game.
That's Boise State blue, right?
It is Boise State blue. I mean, you pull up and you're like, is that blue? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot they got the blue turf. It's pretty cool back there. So you got David Smith, 26 total touchdowns, creeping up on 1,600 total yards of offense. This is a guy who just moves the ball up and down the field. Now, Rutherford is a little bit more of a well-balanced team. Our guy Van Weber from a couple years ago was a multi-time NJIC champion at Rutherford. His little brother Quinn, I should use little lightly. Quinn's he might be 6'6" in the Cleaton helmets. I mean, this kid is a monster. He's playing receiver. Miles Balchin is playing quarterback. The younger Joya brother, John Joya, is now in the mix. So Rutherford is a really well-balanced team. This is just small school football at its finest. So we're gonna have all the highlights on JerseySportsZone.com. You're gonna be able to digest that game in its entirety.
And a reminder that the non-public has this week and next week, and then they go to the playoffs. So next week we're going to have public playoff games, and then the last of those non-publics as they jockey for position. So Saturday, again, I feel like it's superhero movie time, right? DC versus Marvel. I keep using that analogy, and it's St. Joe's Montvale taking on Bergen Catholic. We've really kind of seen these four teams, right? Joe's, Bergen, Bosco, Peters. That's what it's shaping up to be in that non-public A battle. So it's all positioning. St. Joe's has been in a tough spot.
Yes.
They had 2 games this year beyond their control, won by forfeit. So early it was an out-of-state opponent. Things didn't work out scheduling, traveling-wise. They get a forfeit win. And then last week, unfortunate situation going on at Pope John medically. They had to forfeit. So it's interesting because Joe's is coming off these 2 tough losses, right? That's Peters and then Bosco. And then, you talked about it last week that maybe Pope John was a get-right week. Instead, it becomes another bye week. And at staff, Augie Hoffman's staff is going to make the most of that time. So they will get ready to face Bergen Catholic. And again, this is really a precursor of what's to come a couple of weeks down the road.
It's been a bit of a tough draw for Joe's. I mean, they only had 2 home games this year. They're only going to have 2 home games because next week is against DePaul on the road as well. So you look at a team that really thrives off having, a lot of great atmosphere at their facility, at their complex, and able to get things rolling behind that. They lost that last week. I saw a couple of the Joe's guys at the PC Red Bank Catholic game, and they said, we got 2 games. We got 2 home games this year. So what are we supposed to do? It's been a tough draw for them. But can they get their guys healthy? We're going to see Lamar Best playing quarterback this week. There's a possibility of that, playing full-time at QB. Nate Bailey, another week healthy. Joe's is 4 points away from being the number 1 team in the state. That's really the crux of this. And you could make the argument that Bergen Catholic is 5 points away from being the number one team in the state.
Now, do you want me to motivate Joe's?
Let's do it.
Because they're all bummed out, right? That they've only played 2 games. I know how they could play there again.
Yeah, you got to beat Bergen.
Beat Bergen and beat DePaul.
Yeah,
and you'll be home. You'll get that. You'll get that next home game.
Yes, it'll be a guarantee.
Right. So that's the motivation. I don't know if they'll talk about that in the Joe's locker room or not, but that's and we again, you got to cancel that outside noise.
It's gonna be tough,
right? Joe's struggling. They can't win the big one. Oh, you said it. You're 4 points away from being the undisputed number one team in New Jersey. And now for Bergen Catholic, they just seem to be this steady ship going along, right? And
starting to pick up some speed. I was there on Saturday. Look, Del Barton is a tough team. And I could make the argument, and I'd be hard-pressed to find many people that disagree with me, that Del Barton is one of the top 3 best coaching staffs in the entire state.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just put that at face value. That is an incredibly well-coached team. You are never going to out-coach Del Barton. But Bergen Catholic has a ton of talent. They've got an incredibly deep lineup. They are really starting to kind of hit their stride here after that Week 4 loss to Don Bosco. They had a bye. They had a win against Pope John, and now they have a win against Del Barton. Bergen looks like they're fully healthy. It looks like they've got things zeroed in. That's what this team does. They regroup really well, and then they go forward really well. So, look, Joe's has to get a win here. If Joe's goes this season, losing to Don Bosco, losing to St. Peter's Prep, and then potentially losing to Bergen Catholic, it's going to be tough to get a top 4 seed in non-public A. So this is a big spot for St. Joe's Montville. They've got the guys that can go out and get it done. Can Bergen Catholic hold them off in a big-time spot? We'll have to see. Bergen has won the last 6 games against St. Joe's.
Wow.
It's been a while since Joe's beat Bergen. I was at the last time when they did it. Audric Estime ran for $174, $175 against Bergen at Bergen. That was 2019. 2019 was the last time.
So you need an NFL running back to win at Bergen is what you're telling me.
It's a tough place to win. Now, that guy, they had a different guy. I mean, Audric was different, right? Built different, as they say. So, but Joe's was, they had Bergen in overtime last year. They brought Bergen to overtime in the non-public A semifinal. So they've got the blueprint on how to get it done. They just need to execute, and I think they've got the guys that can potentially do that to win a massive game.
Now, when I saw your posts on Saturday, there were 2 big ones. Pre-game ceremony, All-American jersey presentation, Jordan Thomas, and then he decided to drop a mixtape, which I was like, is this a season's worth of highlights? No, this was just against Del Barton.
It was 2 hours, yeah.
So when we saw that and said, hey, why don't we talk to one of the very best players in the state of New Jersey, an All-American, a future Ohio State Buckeye, Ryan Day, maybe he's going to check it out. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're pretty good at Ohio State, but we're going to talk with Jordan Thomas of Bergen Catholic when Beyond the Score continues.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
All right, welcome back to Beyond the Score. And Rich, this is a pretty big guest, man.
I'm very excited after what I saw on Saturday on our social media and what you did.
Monster game. Let's give the breakdown real quick. 2026 Navy All-American, one of two in New Jersey this year.
Bam.
Ohio State commit, monster commit, 4-star player, which I think we're missing a star there, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think we're missing a star.
He's a 5-star Jersey Sports Zone guy.
Yeah, that's Jordan Thomas, Bergen Catholic defensive back, joining us right now from Bergen Catholic. Jordan, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming on with us.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
That was a really special moment that you had on Saturday at Bergen Catholic. I saw your whole family out there. That was really important to you to be named a 2026 All-American. Just take me through. I know we talked about it after the game a little bit, but you've had a couple days to soak it in. What did that mean to you personally to get that accolade?
Right. So first and foremost, I just give all the glory to God, and I just feel so blessed and grateful to have that opportunity. That's something that you just dream about as a kid growing up, watching the All-Stars, the All-Americans, growing up watching them in high school. So it was just an amazing feeling to have my family surrounding me and also the fans supporting me while I was getting honored.
Look, I have been a guy that has covered some big-time college football. I've been to Notre Dame. I've been to a lot of SEC and ACC stadiums, atmospheres. When you talk about a bucket list, Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
You've been there. Jay and I haven't. Tell me what it's like, what the vibe is at Ohio State.
It's absolutely ecstatic. The fans are all bought in to the game. They love the team. They love just the whole experience, and the whole experience is great. It was the loudest game I've ever been to, especially when I went down on the first game against Texas when they were playing the #1 team in the nation. It was the loudest game I've been to, and you could just feel the stadium moving. You could feel how loud it is. That's how loud it was.
We got to get the pod big enough because we got to see Jordan. Our guy Quincy Porter had 2 catches against Wisconsin.
Yeah, Quincy. Jordan, there's a lot of guys down there too, right? Even our guy from Seton Hall Prep.
Jalen McClain.
Davison, Igbenosin is still there too. So there's a ton of Jersey guys there. Just take me through how cool it is seeing the Garden State guys out there producing and really playing well.
I think it's really cool. They're representing New Jersey and where we come from, and they're performing at the highest level and at the highest stage at Ohio State. So I'm really proud of those guys, and I love to see them do their job.
All right, now it's time to kind of get into that mode, right? We got 2 weeks left in the regular season. What's the vibe like at Bergen Catholic, knowing that you guys have been through it before and you know that things are about to get turned up a notch, even starting this Saturday when St. Joe's Montville comes to Oradell?
Yes, Coach Vito said that this is the start of the playoffs right now. So going into this week, we're very locked in and very focused on the task at hand, and we're just all bought in trying to do this thing together as a team.
How have you guys kind of evolved over the last couple of weeks since week 4 and the Bosco game? I know I'm sure you guys know that you guys could certainly play a lot better. I think you guys probably felt like you left some points out there and all that stuff. But you guys right now, boy, you're really starting to kind of hit your stride now and really show the potential of this team. How have you guys grown over the last couple of weeks heading into week 8 now?
Yeah, we definitely, just started practicing harder, started to, discuss what it meant to us to play for each other as a team, and just taking it harder, like in practice and watching film, studying. We're just all holding each other accountable, and that's what it's all about.
When we watch you, and again, I look at that Saturday, we saw the physicality. We saw the homework that you did during the week, because the interceptions were you being in the absolute perfect spot. Who are the guys that you watch on Sunday that you kind of try to emulate? Because I think when you get into that system at Ohio State, I have a feeling Jay and I are going to be watching you on Sundays in a few years.
Yes. So I like watching Patrick Surtain Jr. I like watching Sauce Gardner. So some of those guys some people relate me to some of those guys. So I just like to emulate some of the techniques that they do in the NFL.
And Jordan, I know it's been tough to get you to talk about yourself in years past, especially in the previews. You're really a team-first guy. I had a conversation with Coach DeBellis after the game, and he said, boy, if there's one guy that just represents Bergen Catholic to the A1, it's Jordan. It doesn't want to talk about himself. It's all about the team. It's all about family. It's all about your faith. just the kind of guy that you are. Who are you at your core, and what do you think makes you Jordan Thomas?
Well, I think, first off is my faith. I have a strong relationship with God, and I tend to use that in all aspects of my life, whether it's on the field or off the field. And at my core, I'm a leader, and I love to lead the guys into battle every single week, whether it's going into film study, whether it's going into practice, going into a game, and even in the classroom. I love to lead the guys and just be that role model for everybody to look up to.
I'll tell you what, Jordan, your film speaks for itself, but when we get a chance to interact with you like this, Coach Ryan Day does a pretty good job. He doesn't make too many misses. Ohio State is very lucky to have you, and I just want you to just stay on the path because I know that we're going to use this interview a few years from now. You've got the intangibles. I love the way you conduct yourself. I love that you're team first, and you represent this state so well, and that's why you're going to one of the best college football programs in America. And those Buckeye fans, they know they're getting a really good one. So thanks so much for joining us, and if we could get a few more highlights from you here over the next few weeks, we'd really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're not done yet. We're not done yet at all.
ACI Medical and Dental School in Eatontown is celebrating 20 years of new beginnings and 20 years of new careers. Start your new career as a medical or dental assistant in less than 4 months. From a talented faculty and staff to state-of-the-art equipment and training, ACI's medical and dental training programs are designed to help students succeed. Registration is open for day and evening classes. Visit aci.edu to begin your healthcare journey.
Hey, welcome back to Beyond the Score. We're about to jump into our Blast from the Past segment. This one was close to home for me, man. I really felt special and very happy watching this guy get into the end zone this weekend on Sunday.
Well, shout out to the Heldrich in New Brunswick.
Yes.
Great hotel. Thanks for sponsoring Blast from the Past every week. And it is surreal because there's the initial emotion of Kyle Monangai's first touchdown. And he's one of our guys, man.
He's one of our guys.
One of our guys. I remember Jay, putting him on the podium because, this is weird, but we're going to have 2 Don Bosco running backs on the podium. And we made the right call.
Yes.
Made the right push. But then you go back to that game you shot, which was Gonzaga against Don Bosco, and we're going to see this kid, Ballyhood kid, #1 player in the country, some guy named Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Where
do I know that name?
Right. So then you start to put it together. You're like, and we talked about this. So wait a minute. Like, you're at that game. Like, if we were to tell you that, hey, that guy on the other side of the field is going to be playing with Kyle Monangai in the NFL, and it's Caleb Williams that's going to hand the ball off to Kyle Monangai for his first NFL touchdown.
So cool.
And you were right there in the middle of it. So it's pretty amazing.
It was awesome. It was an incredible moment. That was an awesome game, by the way. My goodness, was that a fun game. Bosco played really well. They played a really tough game. Gonzaga was next level. I mean, Caleb Williams, you're going to watch a little bit right now. Caleb Williams was sick. Oh, my goodness gracious. But let's jump into the past back a number of years ago. Listen to a little bit greener Jay Cook on these highlights. This week's Blast from the Past featuring Kyle Monangai.
It's time for another Blast from the Past, brought to you by the Heldrich, New Brunswick's only 4-star hotel.
Hey everyone, I'm James Mooney. Kyle Monangai scored his first career touchdown for the Chicago Bears this past Sunday. Back in 2019, Jay Cook saw the former Don Bosco prep star square off with his future teammate and quarterback Caleb Williams.
Bosco facing a 4th and 10, no problem there. Bats finds Kyle Monangai for a huge 22-yard pitch and catch. The Ironman knocking on the door in the red zone. And then again, the Ironman feed Jalen Berger. Such a tough runner. Berger crosses the plane from 9 yards out. Man, these Don Bosco prep backs are tough. Kyle Monangai in the Wildcat here converts the 2-point conversion after bulldozing. Bosco with a 14-0 lead, 10 minutes to play before the half. But you just can't count out this Gonzaga team. Junior quarterback Caleb Williams is ranked by many scouting sites as the top 2021 quarterback in the nation. Big Power 5 offers, we see why. Williams, 81 yards to the house. Later, Williams with a beautiful ball. Justin Ennis comes down with it. That 19-yard touchdown ties the game. It's 14-14, 5 minutes left in the half.
Blast from the Past is brought to you by the Heldridge, New Brunswick's only 4-star hotel and a preferred hotel of Rutgers football fans since 2005. The Heldridge helps you make the most of your game day weekend, providing premium accommodations in the cultural heart of downtown New Brunswick. Restaurants, bars, theaters, parks, museums, and more are only steps away. Whether you're traveling alone or with a large group, book your stay at the Heldridge and make the most of your game day weekend.
I'll be honest, this Saturday is when we're kind of game planning is a little stressful for us.
It's a lot of moving pieces.
You think about it, we're kind of in a Monday through Thursday, boys soccer, girls soccer. And then Thursday, we're like, hey, what's a really good football game? We'll do a little football soccer Thursday here or there. American football and international football. So you get to Saturday and you're like, okay, it's the last week of the regular season. And then Jay's like, puts his hand up. It's like, I've got a little game up in Oradell, St. Joe's, Montville, Bergen. I'm like, well, we got to be at that. I'm like, oh, so what do we have soccer-wise? And then Jay rolls through all these games, and now we're like a little overwhelmed. So we are going to have all hands on deck on Saturday.
For sure.
We're going to double up some games, right? I'm going to go down to the short conference at Neptune, the guys' final, the girls' final. You're talking multiple state championship contenders.
For sure.
At the time we're taping, we're at the quarterfinal stage. By the time the pod drops, we'll be in the Final Four, and then Saturday will be the championship games. We're going to see some excellent teams for both the Shore boys and the Shore girls. So I got that covered. Going to be a long night. We'll hit the parking lot in Neptune, try and get the guys done while the girls is going on. We'll try and get it all sorted out. And then we've got the Somerset final was the other one where we said, hey, we got to get to the Somerset final.
Yeah, we gotta move some guys around and move some pieces around to get to this game. I mean, both games specifically are awesome. The Pingree boys, we talked about them. This is a top 10 soccer team in the country. Boy, they are just rolling on all cylinders. They get to go up against an undefeated Bernards team. So these teams have not played this year. It's kind of rare when teams in Somerset don't cross when you are this good. These teams just haven't played each other. But you've got Pingree with one loss on the year going up against undefeated Bernards. Let's see how Bernards stacks up against the top 10 team in the country. You've got the potential here for an awesome game. Then on the other side, the Pingree girls are in the Somerset County Girls Final against Rutgers Prep. And this game, you were there. We've talked about this game in previous episodes of the podcast because it still is just kind of this mind-bending thing. Pingree was up 2-1 on Rutgers Prep before lightning and rain and darkness shut the game down. So now you say, okay, this is
right.
Hopefully we have clear weather at Torpy on Saturday in Bridgewater. Everybody's got their fingers crossed for that. But this is a seismic showdown between these two teams. We're going to be there, and it's going to be an awesome game.
So we got the Shore covered, Somerset covered, and then the next one we had to talk about was Morris County.
Oh, yeah.
The guys, I don't know when the last time Del Barton wasn't playing for the county title.
Yeah, it's been a long time, I'm sure. And credit to the Chatham Cougars for beating Del Barton in the semis. Absolutely picked up the upset of the tournament there. Certainly well deserving of getting there. So it's going to be Chatham against Randolph. So you've got a great game. I did see Randolph earlier in the season against Del Barton. They did lose 2-0, but it was on 2 PKs. Outside of a couple yellow cards, they played a really awesome competitive game. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And then on the other side of the girls' final, you got the same two teams, Randolph and Chatham. That's fun when you got the same two teams at the same complex. It's going to be at Roxbury. You're going to have all the students from both schools there for like 4 hours straight. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great atmosphere. The Chatham Cougar girls team,
who you just saw.
I just saw. Boy, they're high-flying. They're very talented. They beat Madison in a rematch of last year's county championship game in the quarterfinals.
Wow.
How often do you get that? I mean,
Right.
that was like you had a championship-level game in the quarterfinals. Chatham ripped off 3 unanswered goals to beat Madison on the road. Lucy Arps, an incredible goal. If you didn't check out those highlights, you got to go give that game
That was
a
number
watch.
3 on the top 10.
I mean, just arguably the girls' goal of the year. So Chatham has won 4 straight county championships. They're going to go to make it 5 against Randolph. Randolph every single year has an awesome girls soccer team. That is an A-plus girls soccer program, especially on the public side. I mean, they are always competitive. So in this game, in the Morris, you've got 2 awesome showdowns there.
So we've got Joe's Bergen football, which you're locking down, and then we're going to have at least 5 county championship finals, guys and girls, on Saturday. And it's the perfect way to kind of get you geared up for the postseason, but should be a great Saturday of content. Make sure you check it out on jerseysportszone.com. And when we come back for the last time in the fall, we're spinning the wheel. One more school that we promise we will cover in the next week or 2, early playoffs, but stay tuned to see our last fall edition of The Wheel.
Comprehensive, academic, and award-winning. New Jersey deserves nothing less. Learn more at rwjbh.org/US News.
Buffalo Wild Wings has teamed up with Jersey Sports Zone to honor high school athletes across the state with gift cards. We'll have Buffalo Wild Wings Player of the Game interviews all year long. Visit Buffalo Wild Wings locations in North Brunswick, Bridgewater, West Windsor, Flemington, Brick, and Toms River. A special thanks to the Munson Restaurant Group for supporting New Jersey high school athletes and Jersey Sports Zone. As we head for home on the Beyond the Score podcast, if you're listening, always encourage you to go on the YouTube. Because you can see a lot of the things that we're talking about. We've got the kind of video proof to back it up. And then this segment that we started to thank everyone for supporting us. We get overwhelmed in a good way. Everyone wanting us to go to their games. And it's a big state. So we wanted to thank everyone for supporting the new pod and said, hey, if you give us your school and your sport, we'll pick a place and go. So we've done the wheel now a few times. So if you watch it on YouTube, the wheel's spin around and it lands somewhere. We got like 90-something things on there.
Yeah.
So we did 4 this fall, right?
Yeah.
What's the record on the wheel?
It's 1-3.
That's tough.
It's 1-3. Delran football was unfortunately a loss. Bound Brook boys soccer was a win.
I was there for that.
You were there for that. So
that was a big dub.
That was great. We had West Essex football, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. They just lost in overtime, or in an incredible regular season finish. We just talked about that to Hanover Park. So that was an L. And then the field hockey team from Colts Neck, unfortunately a loss.
Oh.
So
it's all going to change here, though.
I think
we're
so.
going to land somewhere good.
Yep.
And this is going to be the last one because when the playoffs get rolling here, we got to.
I mean, look,
it's going to be tough. We got to lock in. Okay, so we're going to do one more wheel. The wheel will return in the winter.
Boy,
maybe we raise the stakes. I'm thinking like half court shot. Like if you go, I might McAfee it. And
okay.
Now I'm not McAfee.
Sure.
I don't have $300,000 to give to St. John Vianney because they'll probably make the girls will make the half court shot, and then I don't have $300,000.
No.
But that's my idea to turn up the stakes in the winter. Is maybe we'll McAfee it. If you win the game, you land on the wheel, you win the game, half court shot, one shot.
I like that.
You like that?
That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I'm not McAfee.
No.
But if it
okay.
grows, maybe we get some sponsors to throw in some dough. I mean, how much fun would that be?
That'd be really cool.
And we get the students around. That was one of my late weekend ideas.
Might need some more Buffalo Wild Wings cards for that.
Ooh, see, we could do that. That's a great call. That's a great call, Jay.
Never know.
Okay, so look, that's going to come down the road.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have nothing for.
We've got nothing here except a win potentially on Jersey Sports Zone.
Right.
Which, look, it could be worth its weight in gold.
Great video on social, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's spin it.
Let's spin it. The wheel is spinning for the final time
this
this
football?
fall.
Is it soccer? Is it a girls' sport? I'd like a girls' soccer or field hockey.
That'd be fun. We are landing on Manasquan boys soccer.
Wow. That is a good one.
Okay.
That
I'm going to have to lean on you here on the shore.
They just lost a heartbreaker, I believe, to Manalapan in the Shore Conference.
Okay.
So we're going to have to get them in an early state playoff game. One of my favorite high schools, Manasquan.
I'm going to pull up their schedule right here.
You know, the Winter Dynasty, Lisa Kokoda and the girls basketball,
Yeah, for
Andrew
sure.
Bilodeau boys basketball. They got a good lacrosse teams. They're having a good football season. You know who we're going to talk about for All Zone is that Ace ATN from Manasquan.
Yeah.
I'm dropping
Definitely.
the wheel just landed and I just had to empty out my Manasquan knowledge.
That's
there.
it. Well, Manasquan's regular season is over.
Right.
Regular season is done. So we're going to have to wait for the
Early playoffs.
We're going to have to wait for the seedings to come out, wait for the matchups to come out. PowerPoints and all that stuff are still in the mix right now. So
I'm going to go down that narrow gravel road behind the football stadium.
Yeah.
And get one of those spots because it's in a neighborhood.
Yes, it is.
That turf field.
Yes.
So
There's a little lake right down the street,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Oh yeah,
you
get
get the full experience in Manasquan.
I love it. Well, that's just that's cool.
So it's going to be the Manasquan Warriors boys soccer team taking home the last wheel. We're going to get some Warrior soccer early in the playoffs. We'll see what they can do.
I love it. So I'm going to tease this because we had something develop today.
I'm throwing away the key. I'm not saying anything. That's up to you.
It's not completely booked, but you would, as you saw the interaction.
I saw the name on your phone, and I almost jumped out of my seat.
So I think we got a big name guest that everyone knows. We're hoping it's next week. I think if it's not next week, it's going to be in the very near future.
Yeah.
But we're really excited about it. Let me try to see if I can Easter egg this. I think we're going to...
We'd be dropping a bomb.
I was going to say something about detonation. So yes,
we
are going to detonate a bomb that people will very much know what we're talking about. It will just take a mere 3 letters.
Ooh.
A mere 3 letters to tell you who our very special guest is that is known across the world.
Yes.
And is respected, but has very close ties to New Jersey that maybe people don't realize.
They probably don't, especially people my generation, even younger than
Yes.
that. I didn't realize the mass amount of connections until you gave me a thorough education.
Right. So that is the episode 8 cliffhanger.
Oh, my goodness.
And I think it's going to be really awesome. And without doubt, it's our first big name guest on the pod.
Yeah. That's fun.
Stay tuned.
If you have chronic joint or back pain, this is probably where you spend your time. Might we suggest a better destination that's close to home? RWJ Barnabas Health, where orthopedic surgeons designed the surgical implants that are now used around the world, and where you'll be cared for by the same doctors that treat professional athletes and rising stars. Get back to what you've been missing. Orthopedic care. Do it right. Here. RWJ Barnabas Health.